Hi, this is Anand M and welcome to the DDV Chemistry. Today we are going to discuss about the structure of atomic models with a lot of rare and some theories which are not known to a lot of people. The most shocking, astonishing theories which will blow your eyes from your eye sockets. Are you ready for this challenge? Let's go. Here we are with atomic models and this study and some of the most exiled theories from the textbooks. No one really knows. So, with all these interesting facts about chemistry, welcome to the DDV Chemistry. Before going on, friends, let's understand how did this theory of atoms come. So, this theory that everything is made with atoms is called as atomism. It was given by pre Socrates philosophers that were Greek philosophers before Socrates. They are Lysippus and his disciple Democritus. They gave this theory, which is still believed by scientists, that everything is made with indivisible particles, which, according to the language of Greek, is called as atomos, which translation means indivisible. So everything they say is made with some very small indivisible particles. It was just a philosophy at that time. At that time, that wasn't the belief, right? But after few scientific experiments, a lot of scientific experiments, people came to this conclusion that everything is made with particles which are very small. And the question coming to the division of particles, no one really knows. But after all these thinking, you may get this doubt. After the end of the video, if I have not covered this part, you will be confused. What an atom really looks like? That question, I'll be answering it in the beginning of the video. The correct answer to this 1 crore rupee question is no one really knows. Yes, it's just a belief. No one has ever seen the atom like the Statue of Liberty going it, taking a selfie. No, people just believe how an atom looks like. They think by observation. When you do an experiment, you get some kind of relevant thing. You immediately form a hypothetical or intuition based model like this. So, like that, we have different models, and all these different models came through time. But the most accepted one is this model, that is the electron cloud model. I'll be discussing it in this video, which will be coming up next. Yes, in this video, I'll be covering all the topics about different atomic models. Why? Because this is important for the basis of chemistry and real life. If you are sitting in these plastic chairs, then friends, it is based on Rutherford's atomic model, which is having a lot of drawbacks. So when it was accepted, these plastic chairs are made under that belief. So let's go into the different models of atomic structure. Here I'll be having a glide over it, the Dalton's billiard ball model, then Thomson's plum pudding model, Lewis cubicle model, then Saturn's Saturnian model or Nagaoka's model. We have Rutherford's planetary model, and from here the theory is from Bohr's model, that is Niels Bohr Rutherford model, Bohr Rutherford model. Everything is just improvements, no new theories until the electron cloud model. So here we have Bohr-Sommerfeld model, that is refined Bohr model, Guiransky's freefall model, which is also based on Bohr's model, and the electron cloud model. So in this video, I'll be coming up with the top three rare, not very fabulously known atomic theories. The top three are: number three, Lewis model or cubical atomic model. then Saturnian model, and at last free fall atomic model. Let's start with the top three rare, not very known atomic theories. Before going on, let me show you the pictures of these atomic models. Brief glide about other models and also these models, right? Billiard ball model, as you can see, the atom is in ball shape. Then we have the plum pudding model. You can see there how the electrons are there. It's covered in a lot of textbooks. I don't need to review it again, right? Then we have the Lewis dot structure or Lewis model, Lewis cubical model. Then Saturnian model, we have the Rutherford model, also Niels Bohr's model, which is based on quantum mechanics, and we have the Sommerfeld model, who covered Sommerfeld covered all the drawbacks of Niels Bohr model. So it's Bohr Sommerfeld model. Then we have our electron cloud theory, electron cloud model at last. So let's get into the wildest things ever. Have you ever wondered if the atom is in the shape of Lewis dot structure or Lewis cubical model, then how will our bodies be? Huge, huge globes, maybe, right? So here, Lewis dot structure or Lewis cubical model is made so that people can understand, or it can be made easier to represent atoms while doing the chemical bondings. Whenever two atoms combine to form molecules, sharing or donating, they need to be represented easily. That is why this cubical model is made, where all the electrons are spaced in equal distances here, and the nucleus at the center, right? So this is a hypothetical model. If this was true, my friends, then we'll be moving with huge, huge blocks like children's blocks, right? Too funny. Next is Nagaoka's model number two. This number two is actually made opposing Thomson's plum pudding model. Thomson stated that the protons or the positive charge will be the whole covering one, and above it, like some small cherries, the negative charged electrons will be present. He made it with the hypothesis that if they are equally distributed, then it will be the atomic weight will be even. But Nagaoka, a Japanese scientist, he disapproved this. He didn't agree to this and formed his own Saturnian model inspired by Saturn. He stated that all the charge, positive charge, is concentrated at the center and the electrons revolve it like the rings of Saturn. It was a prediction. It was like Nostradamus telling that coronavirus may come in 2020. He wasn't sure, he just made a random prediction. He made a random prediction which is known now, which we can understand now. So after Rutherford's experiment, this theory was accepted. We come now to the electron cloud model before going on to the Guy-Ransky's model. Here, unfortunately, we don't have the s orbital picture. So in Bohr and Sommerfeld's model, it was given that in Schrodinger's model also with Bohr and Sommerfeld, that the shells are divided into orbitals, and these orbitals are maybe in three forms, five forms, sometimes seven forms, right? So they may be in different forms. As you can see, when they are combined together, clumped together, when the p orbital will be clumped together, it will be like this, like the shell, okay, like the axis, three axes, like the Fleming left hand rule. Then as you can see, the d orbital, a beautiful clump, just like coronavirus, the 3D coronavirus, and f and the two f orbitals will be like that. Okay, so this model, my friends, when you clump all these together, it is just like a huge ball with all the orbitals. When you clump it, when you are seeing uranium, In this view, you will see just a huge ball, soccer ball, you can say. And now we'll come to Guiransky's free fall atomic model. He gave it that the orbits are like Kepler's. So Kepler like orbits. If you have studied Kepler laws, they are like Kepler orbits, Kepler like orbits, but we have very low angular momentum there. And also, this is not exactly elliptical like an egg. It is due to the magnetic dipole moment, which you will be studying in chemical bonding if you are in class 11, and also due to electron magnetic moment, which results into a Lorentz force. So it is proportional to v by 3 v by r cube, and is perpendicular to the velocity and spin of the electron. So the shape of our orbitals is perpendicular to the velocity and spin of the electron. As you can see, I have a beautiful equation which I'll be annotating now. Okay, so this is the equation which is given by Guiransky. So that is the model which is based on Niels Bohr model. Okay, that is all for the top 3 rare, not very known, you can say, atomic structures. So with a lot of interesting facts will be coming in this deep and different way. Thank you for watching this video.